आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force become efficient, perfected. All is verily the one without second, absolute, blissful existence. Let me never deny this truth of oneness. May this truth never reject me either. May all the virtues needed to experience this truth in life be with me. I shall speak right, I shall speak the truth. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel the indwelling presence of the Lord in our heart. Let us feel that presence has pervaded all over our personality as well as out in the whole universe. The whole universe is the one without second divine being. All separateness has vanished completely. There is no time or space, no I and mine. No inside or outside. This is all pervading, luminous, blissful existence itself. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So, dear friends, we shall be beginning the 5th class of this great book, Srimad Bhagavatam, full of devotion, and also tells us how to become devotees. So, let us begin with the opening chant. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditarat Chartheshvabhijñaswarat Tene Brahmahridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yat Surayah Tejo Varimridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So let us read aloud. Please read. Creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who is illumined Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists, just as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So this is something that has to be always kept in mind while studying this, that truth supreme is the topic. This is what is being sought. So we all seek the truth, and for that it is important that we devote ourselves to truth. Devotion is the way. In our last class, we saw that this comes to us, Bhagavatam comes to us as the 4th, gradually it is the 4th edition. First was Vyasa learned it. Vyasa composed it. Vyasa told to Shuka. Shuka told to Parikshit. And then Suta was present there. Now he is narrating to sage Shaunaka, and then that narration somebody has written down that we are reading right now. Last time we saw the Narada is telling Vyasa the cause of his still not having the full perfect peace in life, even after composing this Vedic literature, composing Mahabharata, and in which all the philosophy has been very beautifully discussed. All the rites suitable for different types of people have been told. The histories of the various lineages of the rulers and sages has been narrated. How many these yugas, the ages, they come and go, that has been described. The duties that one should perform according to their aptitude and training, they have also been properly given. But what you have left out is presenting the glory of Lord. You have not sung the praises to Lord, and all that which is devoid of enshrining the Lord in everything. That is just a waste. It may have a lot of literary merit, but all that literary merit is of no use if it is devoid of the singing the glory of God in that. So that is the main thing. If something is devoid of the main thing, then the external ornamentation, howsoever beautiful it is, it does not make it the right thing. And so, although you have done so much work, and from to time in that you have certainly referred to Lord and discussed devotion, it was never done with such fervor as you described the paths of knowledge and karma and all that. So, the karma, when offered to Lord, karma means the actions. Actions, by their nature, they are binding, but when offered to Lord with devotion, then they change their nature. They change their nature and become the instrument to free us from the bondage. Otherwise it is bondage. But then when we use it, then in a proper way connected to God, when all the actions that we perform, when we offer them to Lord, now what happens? Their power to bind us is gone. But not only that, a new power seems to have come into them, and that is the liberating power. This is new, means it is just the reversal. When not properly connected with God, it binds. If properly connected with God, it frees. I had sometimes given that incident that in our well there was the pump to get the water up from the well, and then one day I started push the button to make the pump start and get the water up in the tank above, over a tank. And then I saw the motor was running. I was hearing the sound. I thought that in few minutes the tank will be filled. But when I opened the faucet, no water was coming. So what's happening? So the water was not getting pumped up. So we called an expert that what's happening. And he in 2 minutes fixed it. The water started going up. We asked, well, what happened? How did you fix it? What was wrong? He said, well, because some electric work was going on there, your polarities changed. And so the motor was running, but in the reverse direction. And so it was not able to pump the water up. Do you get the point? And that it is, so we understood that not only that the running of the motor, but running of the motor in right direction, that is important. So similarly, our work, when we do not know how to do work, that work proves to be a bondage. When that very work is put in the right direction, that makes us free. And what is this right direction? Connect it to God. Make it the work of God. Dedicate that action to God. So he said, Vyasa, you are not feeling peace because of this. And there Narada starts telling Vyasa that his own experience about it, that his own life story he narrated, that look, I was born of a woman who was just a maid servant. She had no marriage, she had no proper kind of but I was born to her while being with so many people there. So I was born to her, and then I used to serve some holy people who used to stay there during the 4 months. I was just a mere child, just 3-4 years old. But I was attracted to these holy people who would come there during those 4 months of non-wandering days. It is prescribed that these holy people should be wandering all 8 months. But the 4 months of more or less rainy season, they should stay at one place. So this 4 months of they stay there, he used to go to them and then serve them. And Narada thus said that they would allow me to take their leftover food, and that purified my heart from inside. It is, and then they spoke about the glories of God. They chanted the name of Lord. From them I learned that this secret, that when the work done as an offering to God, it frees us. With their teachings, I started seeing that this whole universe is just God appearing in various forms. All forms are just they drawn upon God, as it were, like the pictures on the screen. You are seeing all these things coming on the screen. Now these things come and go, but the screen remains, all the writing and the pictures. They come and go, but the screen remains. So Lord is the reality. All these pictures, they are just superimposed on that Lord. I learned it from them at this very childhood. And so we should offer everything to Lord. So in short, you should learn or you should sing the glories of the Lord. That will bring peace to you. So Vyasa then understood that it is that yes, he realized, I have not sung the glories of the Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. So after Narada concludes this, Vyasa wanted to know about the life. After Narada narrates the early days of his life in the past age, this is to be remembered. Narada is telling this from his past life, not this life. This life he is already, he is emancipated and is established in Lord. But this is the story of his past life. And so Vyasa was wonderstruck that tell me more about your life. What happened when those sages, those people left after 4 months? What other incidents took place in your life? I want to know. And how did you get this skill of retaining the memories from the past life with such vividness? This doesn't happen normally. There are cases where some such things have happened, but almost never that when a person is born in a new body, the past memories are all erased. They are put in a different form, so your present brain does not get clogged by them. Many times it is asked that why do we not remember things from the past birth? Oh fellow, what you remember in this life, that itself is difficult to handle, you see. Imagine the memories from all past births start coming into your into your life as you remember. In the brain, it will become really a havoc there. It is as if it is not enough havoc now, it is with all these memories, what will happen, Naomi? The brain that is even otherwise crazy, it will go completely haywire, you see. So it is therefore, by the divine arrangement, those memories, they get microprocessed and are there, but they do not come out unless we have the skill to open those files for some purpose. They come. That is not the point of discussion right now. But Narada had those memories, and it is described in yoga aphorisms that when a person's heart is purified and is about to get the realization, all his past births just fly before him, before that person, like a cinema, you see, that all past lives, they just like if you think of your past life, not past lives here, but just when you were 2-year-old, 3-year-old and all that. Suppose you are looking at the album of your childhood pictures and pictures up to now, Think of it, an album. I was just born, then somebody took the picture. This is I. Can you recognize? No, no, it is, yeah, but that is how I looked at that time. Do you have any pictures of Eze like that? That when you were just a baby, then the memory flashes. This goes in a flash. Oh, I started going to kindergarten. Yeah, and then, oh, it was a nice place. I learned so many songs. And I used to carry a nice little tiffin box with me for my lunch. Oh, they were such nice days. And I still remember the teacher who used to teach us nice songs. Again, that memory sheet is gone. You flip the page of the album. Here, you see, this was my this picture of my birthday party when I was 8 years old. Look, can you recognize me? Oh, wow! Some one of our devotees, she sent me a picture of hers when she was in some 6th, 7th grade, a group photo of all the children, and asked, can you now place me? And my husband is also in that. Can you place? Oh, well. So it is, yeah. Not so easy, but then, I could find one, Abhijit could find another, so it is, yeah. So it was like that page also got flipped up. We have all this, the memories of the past. Then this happened. Then, this is the picture. You see, I was in college. This is when I got graduated from college. And see so many of my friends there. And this is when, I got married. And this is how this is. Then this is all that goes on till the old age. This is the picture of my child born. And this is now the picture when my grandchild is born, and so forth, you see. So all that memories of this life, you can imagine, that the Narada is therefore describing not just, and how much time you may have spent 1 hour in doing all that. In 1 hour, all that your maybe 80 years of past life will just come in front of you. So it is now. Narada is narrating his past life, not this life, previous life, continued from that. And how did you have this memory? Why Vyasa is interested is because the advice, when it comes from some a person who has it as a living lesson, living presence, then it becomes effective. It is not just the words, but the power of life behind those words that make the impression, you say. That is where our life can really have the impact of those words. So therefore, he asks, well, tell me about it. And then Narada began telling that I was taken care of by my mother then, but she was alone, very poor too. From his previous birth he is telling all this. She died of snake bite one day. He was just 5 years old then. And he had nobody to look after. So, but his mind, after those sages had left, was always put on God. God is the only thing to be sought in life. So this child therefore decided to go and to the forest and perform austerities. He then left that place with all the neighbors and who others could have supported him. He just left that place and started walking, and then he crossed many a forest full of wild beasts. He was very hungry and was tremendously tired and thirsty when he saw a river. A nice, beautiful river bed, and he decided therefore, after quenching his thirst, taking bath and eating some fruits that were there in the forest, hanging on the forest trees, he thought that this is a nice place that Lord has brought me to, and he decided to meditate there. And that was the spiritual practice. And the narration is very beautiful, how the things developed. But here we shall take just these small excerpts from that. As I had heard from the sages previously, I started meditation on the indwelling God in the heart. Heart means not a physical place. Many, when I say that, oh, meditate on your heart, and then one medical doctor told me, it is so difficult to think of meditating on heart. Immediately I start seeing the physical heart and the blood coming in, blood going out, all those different pipes connected to it. So, no, not that heart, but the seat of your I consciousness. You show I as like this here. So, where you show your I, instead of I, now start thinking of God there. It is a psychological technique of replacing the ego with Lord. Where is the seat of your ego? Now put Lord there. That is the meaning of meditate on heart. And also it means all your consciousness, your emotions, all that is heart. So therefore wherever is your heart, you go there. So as they say, it is heart, means your love. So meditate there. That is the advice given by these sages, that is the place for meditation. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that it is heart where a devotee can meet Lord. Lord is everywhere, but where to find? He used to give an analogy that well, you go to see a person, now that person meets you in a meeting lounge. That person stays in the whole house, but then when you go to meet that person receives you in a meeting lounge. So heart is the meeting lounge for Lord, where you can meet the Lord. that is his meeting lounge or his office where he receives visitors. So that is therefore the place where one can see God. He gave also another analogy that the milk is in the body of the cow everywhere, but then you have to take it out from the udders of the cow. You can't take it out of the horn, you see. So it is like that. The Lord is everywhere, but where can you find that? Look into your heart and you will find that. So that is the meaning and significance of this meditating in the heart. So it is, the scriptures have told it many times. There are the famous that Narayan Suktam, how it describes about the meditation in the heart. So it is. And as he started meditating according to what he had heard from those sages, a strong desire to realize God seized me, and out of intense devotion, the tears started rolling down his cheeks. The tears are the example of, or the sign, let us say, it is the sign of the emotional exuberance. You cannot contain the emotions, and so that get expression through tears. So tears start flowing out, and we see that when some emotional incident happens, emotionally shaking you, either in a good way or bad, the tears start coming out. That is a common expression, therefore, that is referred to here, that because of the love for Lord, now the tears start rolling down, and it is the feel of the divine really appeared there. God is now being actually experienced. So it was, I saw the God's presence in the heart. It became full of peace and bliss as I felt that God's presence. The effect of it is full of bliss. All the worries, anxieties that otherwise characterize our lives, and they were all gone. Only the bliss was being felt. Very calm and peaceful everything had become. But suddenly he saw and he lost it. And this is what happens for spiritual these travelers, that an aspirant gets a glimpse and then that glimpse is gone. It is described in Ken Upanishad, in other places as well, that it is like the lightning. Tada vidyutada, that it is like the lightning. You saw it, but then it lighted up everything and that's gone. It is when the lightning, you see everything, the whole sky became luminous, and then it was dark again. So for a moment there was this glimpse of God. I saw His God's blissful presence permeating in every pore of my awareness. But then it was gone. And what happens then? The yearning, the yearning. When you have a glimpse of something, now you want more. You want it more and more, again and again. Where can I find it? I know it is because I got the glimpse once a little bit. Yeah, I want it now. His heart filled with that yearning, and he therefore started praying with earnestness. I saw the God's presence in the heart, but that blissful realization disappeared. I craved for it to appear again, again, again. That yearning, Sri Ramakrishna describes that yearning. When you really want something, you don't care for anything then, you want just that. He started crying, rubbing his face on the bank of Ganges, and the anguish that was so much, the anguish of separation from that Lord. He was telling that if you have a towel soaked in water and you try to squeeze it, how it feels, like that. My heart was getting squeezed like that, twisted like that. It was wrung like that. My heart was that kind of yearning. These are just the words, but we can see what should be the condition of that person's awareness. Nothing was being considered important to think about. Only that the whole whatever energy was there was all directed single pointedly towards that. Now, in case of Narada, after yearning like this, what happened? He heard a divine voice that, dear Narada, this divine voice came, that you are still not qualified to get my total realization in this life due to residue of desire. I showed you a glimpse so that your passion to realize me becomes more intense. They therefore show some movie trailers and like that, Why? So that you will feel that, I must see the whole movie. They would give you a little bit, and then that in many stores, they candy stores, they give you a little bit, taste. Now the idea is that you will get the taste and you will buy. So it is like that. I gave a little bit of it to increase your yearning. Now Narada's yearning was already like that, huge. But still a little bit of desire was left. And so he heard that no, because you still have some little desire, the complete realization of God is not available to you in this dirty body. Malina Sharira, that is the Sanskrit word there. In this dirty body, you cannot get it. But so now you keep on chanting the name of God, keep on doing everything devotional, and then when your body falls off, then you will attain my discipleship. So see how the desire prevents us from attaining this supreme goal, friends. It is our spiritual practice which are nothing compared to that of Narada. Imagine this sage. Compared to Narada, what spiritual practices do we do? When I ask myself, nothing. But even with that, Narada was told, well, no, there is a little desire. So that is obstructing. Desire is such a thing that it pulls you out of your concentration on God. So Sri Ramakrishna would deliberately keep a little desire so that he can come out from that state of supreme samadhi, supreme concentration, by holding on to that desire. The desire was like a rope, you see. So he would go in that depth of that deep samadhi. But then his life had a different purpose. It was for us that life was being lived. And so he would come. Many heard him saying, when in some of that semi-conscious state, he would utter, I will drink water, I will eat this. And so holding on to this desire, he, as it were, he would climb to our day-to-day mundane consciousness. It is so. It shows the force of desire, how even the minute desire can prevent concentration. He had told, look, I don't know how many these days have, very few have this experience of putting the thread through the eye of needle. Putting thread through the eye of needle. It is not, it is, you have to see and put it properly. But before that, you have to see that at the end, if there are some shoots of that thread protruding here and there, then that thread cannot be put in the eye of the needle, because that protruding shred will obstruct it. So you have to really put all those the different shreds together, make it a point there, and then you can put it in. So a desire, I will do this. Now what can you do? Okay, do that. It is, and suffer. So unless all desires are ultimately banished from one's heart, the God realization does not come. That is the message of this story. We will read in the Tuesday class sometime soon, maybe, that Mathura Babu, who served Sri Ramakrishna with such ardent devotion, and how much Sri Ramakrishna loved him. So, thinking of this, the writer of the biography, because Sri Ramakrishna narrated that to them often, so they all thought, surely So blessed was Mathur Babu, he must have attained certain the God realization. Sri Ramakrishna remarked, might have taken rebirth as some king somewhere, there was the desire still there. So, even if you serve a great soul like Sri Ramakrishna, if there is a desire in mind, then that will obstruct. So therefore Narada, see, imagine a sage who right from childhood was just immersed in this, still was finding it difficult. Next class you will hear this story of Dhruva. Our Shrikant will be presenting that story next Friday. So there also you will find that Dhruva had a desire that was in subconscious to become a king who to conquer everybody and so forth. And so when Lord asked him, okay, now do you want mukti, the liberation, or he said, no, what I want is this. That is how it happens, that the desire, whatever desire one has, that it does not let us merge in the divine. And therefore, Holy Mother told that when there was the discussion that what should be our prayers, how should we pray to Lord? Holy Mother said we should pray to Lord to remove all desires. Remove all the desires. So that is how one should pray. It is such an important thing. So, after this, when you get over this dusty body, you will be disciple, and with my blessings, your memory will still remain unaffected. Thus, through this Narada continued to live till his death with heart full of devotion. His body in time passes away, but he remained in this subtle, pure form, being divine disciple. He became the disciple of God in that subtle body, and was always with God. And it is said that he continues that what happened next after 1,000 ages. 1,000 ages passed when at the time of dissolution, he entered the body of the Lord. It is these are somewhat mystic descriptions that the whole universe dissolves in God, like all the pictures that you see on the screen, and only screen remains. So they go back to whatever, the subtle form. When again that movie show is to be made, then again it comes out. So it is now this all, Narada also went into that state, but still he retained the memory. And then after 1,000 ages, which is considered all the four yugas, it is difficult to explain these things. So after such a long time in human scale, everybody has a different time scale. So I was told by one lady at the that terrace there, that it is that she was taking a dog for walk, and she said, I asked how old this dog is. Well, pretty old. In human scale, he has lived 85 human years. So the dog age, is only something like 16, 17 years. But when compared to human life, it is so big. So it is said, just the age of that Brahma, the first being, that Brahma's time scale is very big. So thousands and thousands of years of human scale, they get absorbed in it. There are so many microbes that they live for what is in our time scale a millisecond. But for them it is a whole, say, 100 years of their lifetime, you see. So, like that, imagine this scale of time of that a great big being in whom we are all like tiny microbes. So, it's just one day and night, and then after the night's sleep, at night, the whole universe got absorbed in him. Like when we sleep, what happens to all this universe? It is sleeping. Tommy is sleeping, doesn't see anything, all gone as it were. Even the idea, I am Tommy, that also has vanished. When he wakes up in the morning, then starts seeing, everything starts slowly appearing real. Some do not find it real till a few cups of coffee go down the throat, you say. It is, I have a nice coffee cup. It says, morning is broken. That is a famous song, first line, Morning is broken. Second line is different. Morning is broken. Coffee can fix it. So, the broken morning gets fixed when you take some coffee, and then things start appearing to be actually real. Oh, I have to now rush to my work. Oh, I am late. And like that. I will miss train or something like that. So things start appearing real. So all that which was submerged in you comes out as you wake up. So similarly, this whole universe comes out again, and with that Narada also came out with the memory intact. So that is the story of Narada. Narada tells that by the grace of God, now I have the power to move into all the three worlds unhindered, and I sing the name of the Lord using this string instrument called veena. Veena. That also is provided by Lord to me, and thus, I spread the glory of the name of the Lord, saying this. Now Narada departed from there, Narayana, 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 and then Vyasa wrote Mahabharata. We shall see that next time, that he wrote that Bhagavatam on the bank of a nice Saraswati river, and then now there is a question that crops up. This is all being narrated by Sutta to Shaunaka. These are the sub-acts in the main narration. So now Sutta is telling this. Shaunaka asks, but then why Vyasa told it to Shuka? There is a reason behind asking this, but our time for today's class is over, so we shall long over. So therefore we shall discuss it when not coming Friday. Coming Friday, as I mentioned, it is a different story that we shall be discussing. But I will, after the next Friday after that, it is, I think, 13th, isn't it? 14th, yeah. So 14th, we will have again this narration we shall try to take up by His grace. Nigamakalpatarurgalitam phalam, Nigamakalpatarurgalitam phalam, Shukamukhadamritadrava sanyutam, Pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam, Muhuruho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. O devotees, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas from the mouth of the great sage Shuka, and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. So this is it. Any questions that anybody may have? Oh, you still have a question? Okay.
It would seem to me that an action would have an effect, no matter what the attitude is of the action. Why does it make a difference, and some are binding, and the same thing would be liberating with a different attitude?
Well, it is the result of action will depend on the nature of it. This type of action dedicated to God will have the effect of freeing. And then the action is gone. It is like, a knot. If you are pulling at the knot in a wrong way, the knot gets tightened further. If you pull it in the right way, it gets opened up, and there is no more knot. Because you were seeing the knot, you wanted to now take it out to open it.
But that's two different actions, pulling it the wrong way and pulling it the right way.
Two different actions, because what is the meaning of action? Action has two components: the physical apparent action, and then the attitude, mental attitude. The mental attitude, that is important, you say. The physical action is then becomes completely different because of the mental attitude that is about it. It is like my mom would give me a slap if I did something wrong, and I thank her for that. That made me a little better person. Yeah, those were not those. There were those psychologists and other were not there those days. So it is that was a blessing. So it was thus. But my mom's hitting me was not out of enmity or anger. It was out of compassion and the desire to make me a better person. So Same action outwardly somebody wanting to kill me or hurt me would do is a different thing. So this same action has different the intention. A surgeon's knife and a murderer's knife. The knife might be same and the apparent action also might look similar, but one is for curing and the other is for killing. So that is the difference in work. And there is no other instrument really available which is as potent as work to liberate us. It is the work done in the right spirit. As I told you the example in the beginning, that incident, the pump was not able to pull the water up. The same motor, and the motor was running, electricity was getting consumed. There was noise also of the motor running, but the pump was not pulling the water. So this is how our actions, when done with devotion, they lose their binding character and get liberated. It is in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you will see this, that how the actions that are naturally, they are means of bondage. When you do it with the skill, it is the skill that is required, like you take up the knife and start chopping the veggies or other things. But then once in a while, today it happened in our kitchen, the finger gets cut. Now it is, the skill is to cut the vegetable without the finger getting cut, you see. So we are not skillful with our actions, and so bad that vegetables don't get cut at all, only the finger gets cut. So this is the difference in the skill in action. Bhagavad Gita calls it the skill in the action, that do the action, do not get caught. Sri Ramakrishna used to give an analogy, that in that song, that analogy comes, that he used to sing that song, that some people would practice a frog, small frog, and they have a snake there. The snake would try to catch the frog, and so they would dip it in the open jaw of the snake. Before the snake could grab, they would pull it out. Put it in, pull it out. Put it in, pull it out. So while doing work, we should be very careful that we do not get caught. Otherwise the work will not get done. So it is getting the work done, but not getting worked up. That is that is the skill, you see. So now let us, any other question? So let us conclude with the closing chant. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल। मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल। कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल। मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।